Okay, let's look at RL.8.9, and it asks us to analyze how myths, traditional stories, or religious works such as the Bible influence themes, patterns or events, or character types in a modern work, including how the material is rendered new. So if we're looking at this word rendered, how it's kind of remade. You know, oftentimes you'll have movies that are remade, and they're made to fit more today in today's society, in today's world. So that's what it's kind of talking about. So let's look at a story, and you may all be, this is a legend, you may be familiar with it. It's Mulan's Ballad, retold by Josephine Godfrey. Long ago in ancient China, vicious barbarians invaded the land, causing the emperor to demand that every family provide a soldier to protect the country's borders. Though the emperor was old and frail, he put on his own armor and prepared for battle himself, for he had no son to offer, only a daughter. Just as the emperor picked up his sword, however, a masked warrior challenged him. "If I defeat you, you must allow me to fight in your place." The challenger swiftly won, and when he removed his mask, the emperor learned that his opponent was actually a she, his own daughter, Mulan. Because women were not allowed in the army, Mulan cut off all her hair and dressed in men's clothing to disguise herself. The war with the barbarians lasted for 12 years. During this time, Mulan rose to the rank of general. Only after fighting the war was over did she reveal herself to be the emperor's daughter. Mulan's boldness made her one of China's greatest warriors. Okay, so this may be a little story that y'all are all familiar with, but obviously Mulan cut off her hair, made herself look like a boy so that she could fight. So it says, based on text evidence, what kind of character is Mulan? What theme is suggested by her actions? So if we look at it, what kind of character is she? Well, she's very bold. She's brave. That's in itself. But what actions show that she's brave? Well, she challenged her father. And not only did she challenge him, but she swiftly won. Then she cut off all of her hair and she dressed like a man. She fought for 12 years in a war with the barbarians. So, and not only did she fight, but she rose to the rank of general. This shows us that Mulan is very brave. So I'm going to get this right one day. Let's look at the theme. What could we say the theme would be? Now remember, I think it's very important that we know that that every family had to provide a soldier. He was old and he was frail. He had no son, only a daughter. And women were not allowed to fight back then. So that's important, especially when we're talking about the theme. So if you look at all the details that we kind of underlined and looked there, what would be the theme? Well, the theme is that women can succeed in roles that are traditionally for men. And not only did Mulan do that, but she also put herself in danger for her family. That could be another theme. But the main theme would be that women can succeed in roles that are traditionally meant for men. And what were the pattern of events? Well, you can see that the events, if you just go even to first, second, third paragraph, here the emperor was preparing to battle. Then Mulan challenged him. She won. Then she changed herself up and she fought for 12 years and became a general. So you can see the patterns of events flow very smoothly from the first to the third paragraph. Ooh. And the character types. What kind of character was Mulan? Well, we said that she was brave. She was brave. She was strong. So let's look at a different story that is much like this, but rewritten. Okay, I'm not good at that. But it's rewritten kind of to fit modern day times. So let's look at The Helmeted Hero, which is a realistic fiction. It could happen. By Travis Spencer. Eric sighed as Tony Rogers limped off the field. The Badgers were down by 3 points with seconds left, and now they were down a man as well. Despite losing his best player, Eric refused to admit defeat to the Barbarians, so he called the last play. The center snapped the ball, and as Eric fell back to pass, he saw an open receiver on the field wearing Tony's uniform, complete with Rogers and 38 on the back. With no time to think, Eric threw the ball and watched the guy take off to the 30-yard line, the 20, the 10, touchdown. Hollering with joy, Eric rushed toward his team's newest hero. But as he grew closer, Eric gasped. The player confirmed his suspicions by removing his helmet to reveal the grinning face of Tony's sister, Julia. So here we see a football game, and as we know, it's not, we don't see women playing in football. So if we go back up and we look, why do I keep doing that? We look, the theme is very similar here. Girls can do what boys can do. They can be successful at what boys do. Not only was she was very successful, but she won the game for the team. When they thought it was over, she won it. Okay, then the pattern of events. Well, Tony got hurt. And it was bad because they were down by 3 points. So he got hurt, but Eric wasn't going to give up. What's he do? He thought he saw Tony, so he threw the ball to Tony, and then she made the touchdown. And that's when they see that she is a woman or a girl. And then the character types. Well, I think that Julia, Tony's sister, also had to be considered brave. I mean, she got out there and put her brother's helmet on and uniform on, so she was considered brave, just like Mulan was considered brave in her story. How does the author convey the same theme found in the story of Mulan? Well, it's all going back to women and what women can do. So let's look at our answer choices. The author creates a parallel between Eric's football team and the barbarians that invaded China to illustrate the dangers of battle. Well, that really doesn't have much to do with women and what they can do. That's not a very good answer there. The author reimagines Mulan as Eric, a male football player who must win his game even though the odds are against him. Well, here, Mulan's not reimagined as Eric, but as Julia. Julia's the one that was brave and kind of put on the disguise, so this wouldn't be our answer. The author makes Julia into the Mulan character to show that pretending to be someone else can have terrible consequences. Is this true? Yes. The author does make Julia into it, but you have to read all parts of your answer. Pretending to be someone else can have terrible consequences. Well, and it didn't have terrible consequences. She won the game, so she had good consequences. So this is not your answer. And the author features a female character who, like Mulan, overturns expectations about girls proving their abilities. Improving their abilities. I think that's really important that we look at. Both girls and both stories proved their abilities, which sets the theme to be very similar, much alike, even though that was a myth and this is a realistic fiction. They both have very similar themes. So D is your answer.